Okay. Well, I have to make a part two because I left this most important paper in my car and I had to go get it. I feel like in my first video, I feel like I was taking all the blame for everything. But, that was just stuff that I did, We, we bumped heads about, how we're going to raise our kids. We bumped heads about what we want our kids to know about life and what we don't want them to know about life. We just had different, I guess we just had different views on certain things. I guess because I've lived a little bit longer than she has and been through more, so I have more experiences. So the things that she would, get really upset about, I just saw it as small, mediocre things. But she did her fair share of stuff wrong. She knows I have this PTSD, anxiety, and depression. And as much as I begged her to educate herself about it so she knows what she's dealing with, she would never do that. So she couldn't help the situation if you're not educated on the information inside the situation. So that also didn't help. So, there was times when she would just be arguing at me and getting at me, and I'm just begging her to stop because I'm ready to snap, but she wouldn't stop because she didn't know. But she didn't trust me. I'm not gonna say I did everything right, but she didn't trust me. I believe that sometimes relationships, your friendships outside of your relationship are just as important as your relationship, because you need that outside thought to give you clarification sometimes where you might feel as though you're right but you're actually wrong, or you might be actually right but you feel like you're wrong. So I think those relationships are important, and no matter how many times I tried to explain it to her, she wouldn't, she didn't see it that way. So, I was raised by my mom, so it's just easier for me to, get along with females than, dudes sometimes, just because I was raised by my mom, and she couldn't handle that I had females as friends. And also, I've had a lot of females as friends, but, there's no point in me talking about a female that I haven't seen. So if I haven't seen them in a while, there's no reason for me to bring them up. And when I do see them, I could bring them up. But then, she'd always tell me, those are my girls. And I'm like, it's not like that. So even though she was an angel sent from heaven, she was an angel with faults. And, and she was an angel that, played her part in us, separating. And, those are just some situations that's part of life. But I went through a roller coaster of emotions from the time that we split up to now, which was 8 months, 27 days ago when we split up. And I know it sounds weird to have it counted down like that, but sometimes things that are so dramatic and so important and so hurtful and so even positive, you don't forget that time. And that time might feel like it's way longer than what it really is. And I keep the bruises that were left behind from this relationship, and I keep them in the forefront of my mind so I don't never forget who I was, and I don't forget who I've worked to be. So I keep those painful situations and the breakup and everything that I realized about myself in this relationship right here. So if I ever start slipping into going back to being who I was, I won't I won't slip. I won't slip. Like, I had a friend over my house, and this person was trying to, do everything for me, and I had to tell that person, stop. Like, I can do stuff on my own. I don't want to give up my independence again. So I had to tell that person, stop. Don't do everything for me. I need to do it on my own. And that's what I didn't do with the other in that relationship. I didn't stop her from doing everything for me because I never had it. So I didn't stop her from doing it for me. So therefore, I handed over my independency, because then it got to the point where I was expecting her to do everything. And I didn't even realize that I stopped being a partner in the relationship. I stopped being a partner and started being a burden in the relationship instead of staying as a partner. Because I wasn't pulling my weight in the relationship in some parts. But she also wasn't pulling her part in some parts of the relationship also. But like I said before, I've had a roller coaster of emotions through this whole situation. But I feel like the lessons I learned are making me a better person. It's going to make me a better future partner for somebody that wants to love me unconditionally. And I'll be honest, I still think about her every day, and I still wish we could work things out, be together every day. But I also remember the parts where she didn't meet me halfway on things that were important to me, that were important to who I am, a part of me. How she didn't support a part of me, how she didn't, fight for a part of me, when I would fight for her, and she just didn't fight for me, period. It got to a point where she just gave up on me. So, in this whole situation, I'm hoping that I can help someone. Even if I help someone but never know I helped them, that'd be great. Even if I only help one person, that'd be great. I just want to be able to help someone, because someone is going through the same thing I am, either has or is presently going through, and they might need that comforting ear to say, you're not alone. You're not the only one that's feeling this. Someone else is feeling the same pain, so they can relate to your pain. And then just knowing someone can relate to your pain might be enough to just give you the strength to push forward. So the last thing I have to do is I have to put all my feelings on a piece of paper, and then I have to speak it into the atmosphere, speak it out loud, so I can hear it out loud, and I have to let it go. So that's what I'm going to do. There are a lot of things that I want to say. It's been 8 months and nothing has changed emotionally for me, but the loving you seems to get stronger. I'm thankful for the lessons I have learned, even though the lessons were hurtful, and it's just another part of you that made me better, that made me a better me. You are the first person that I would say actions speak loud. You are the first person I would say actions speak louder than words. Your actions have been speaking loudly. I clearly just didn't want to hear them. My mind says, let go, let it go. She doesn't love you. She doesn't love you anymore. She has moved on. My heart says something different. It won't let go of you. My heart says we have come too far to let it go. 10 years. All I say is thank you for those few good conversations at my daughter's basketball games. I think it's easier to tell someone how you feel in a letter. That's way easier to not see, because it's way easier because you don't see the other person and you can't see their reaction. So when they read it, you can't see their reaction. You can only it's left to your own devices. It's left to your own mind to wonder what they're thinking. That way, you can just tell yourself positive things. How do I say goodbye to a love I just rediscovered? How do I tell my heart you were too late? She's gone. It's impossible. I was just talking to my daughters about this other woman that's my friend, but they don't really like her. My daughter said, Dad, she is trying to do stuff like Megan. She's not Megan, and she will never fill her spot.